the ongoing persecution of Christians there in Nigeria. Tell us a little bit about that real quickly.
Well, just real quickly, anybody watching, contact your member of Congress and urge them to get on my House resolution, because what this allows us to do is speak as a unified voice, the House of Representatives, and give President Trump the backing that he doesn't necessarily need, but I think it's required of us to speak with one voice and support what the president is trying to do, is to stop the killing of the Christians in Nigeria. Our brothers and sisters in Christ are being martyred and murdered every day for the profession of their faith in our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. This resolution shows to the Nigerian government and the people of Nigeria, one, to the government, we will not tolerate this and we support the president. And two, if you're a Christian over there who's suffering right now, we are with you, and we want to see this conflict and this, what I believe is a genocide, end.
Again, thank you so much, Congressman Riley Moore, for your leadership in this. And, somewhat related to this is the situation for religious minorities in Syria. And, of course, President Trump met today with Syria's president, a terrorist who is now president. Your thoughts on that meeting?
Well, I'm glad that they brought up religious minorities, specifically Christians. I mean, this is the oldest Christian population really in the world who has been just under constant attack by ISIS, I'm sure led at some point by this terrorist president. But if President Trump can somehow, and if anybody can, it is him, protect these Christians and these Druze in that country, that would be a huge win. And look, he is very focused on these issues, particularly protecting Christian populations around the world. And there's nowhere where they're more persecuted than Nigeria, but the second one would certainly be Syria.
Congressman Riley Moore.
All right. So for those of you who do not know, the man you just watched, his name is Riley Moore. He is representing West Virginia, 2nd District in Congress, Washington, D.C. He is also one of the people that Trump has asked to investigate if really, truly, there is Christian genocide in Nigeria. Yes, he's one of the persons that Trump has asked to, do that investigation. Now, he posted something on his X handle just yesterday. I'm going to read it out for you because I tell you that something big is about to happen in Nigeria. Now, look at what he posted. He said, Nigeria is the most dangerous place in the world to be a Christian. 50,000 to 100,000 of our brothers and sisters in Christ have been martyred since 1999 in Nigeria. 7,000 has been murdered this year alone. That is 35 Christians murdered per day. Thank you, Pontius, for designating Nigeria as a country of particular concern to end this bloodshed and for taxing me to lead this investigation in the House. Thank you, Catholic Arena, for helping to shed light on this genocide. Oh yes, in case you don't know, he's also a Roman Catholic, so he represents Catholics in the Congress. Now, you have seen what he posted, that true, there is genocide in Nigeria. So the question now is, what will happen next? What will happen next? Say, we dey talk and small. Some of us think saying a joke, Trump dey joke. Until something happens. That is when we know. Some of you will say, oh, Nigeria is a sovereign state. Nigeria is a sovereign nation. Nothing will happen. It's all right. Now, I want you to do well to listen to the next video I'm going to play for you. Because oftentimes, most of us has, misunderstand this word genocide. And that is why most of the people they call for interview, they will say, it depends on what you understand by genocide. What is genocide? What is this? Now, listen to a lawyer analyze what genocide is and if truly there is genocide in Nigeria. But then I ask you, watching this, in this situation, what do you think that Christians should do at this point? Should they pray? Even if they should take action, probably you will say, let them take action. What do you think they will do at this point? Do well to drop your comment in the comment section. But please, I want to beg you to spend a little time and listen to this video that our brother did and get what he meant by genocide, please.
Let's start directly. Mr. Osaje, is there a genocide that is targeted at the Christian population in Nigeria? If there is, what would be the reason?
Oh, fantastic. And, this has been a subject of discussions all over the world and various platforms. Some are saying there is no genocide. Some are saying there are genocides happening in our country. For me, as a security consultant and as a former army combatant and as a person, I stand here to tell you the truth that there is genocide in Nigeria, and this genocide has been taking place for a very long time. And first of all, for us to lay a foundation, if truly there is genocide in Nigeria or not, we need to understand what genocide is. Most people just think that genocide is all about killings or maybe the elimination of people. That is not it. We have the legal framework or the legal perspective from the United Nations Convention on the Punishment and Prevention of Genocide, which was captured in Article 2 of the United Nations Convention in 1948, which states very clearly that the targeting of people for the purpose of their race, religion, or ethnic group in order to kill or cause bodily harm is an act of genocide. That was captured in Article 2 of the United Nations Convention. Now, going by all the killings in Nigeria, we also want to lay a foundation on the objective and ideology of Boko Haram and ISIS and ISWAP as well. When Boko Haram was formed, meaning is Western education is forbidden. And when you say something is forbidden, simply implies that such object or person can be destroyed or eliminated anytime, any day, anywhere. And also as well, when Boko Haram splitted in 2016, ISWAP also came aboard, and they all played allegiance to the ISIS. And the whole objective is to eliminate those who do not believe in their objective. First of all, let's be clear that there's a clear difference between criminal activities, attacks on communities, communal conflicts, and an ideological-driven war or ideological-driven mentality. The objective and ideology of these guys, Boko Haram, is to eliminate the non-believers, which was captured in their own broadcast by their then leader, Shekau. So for me, we as a country, some people might want to deny, but the evidence is very, very clear. When you go to the water killings, hundreds of people were killed, not for any Christmas celebration or Salah celebration. They were killed just for nothing. And go to other parts of the country, just also a lot of people have been killed. Go to Kaduna as well, the Kachia, Zango, Katap, and other places, even some communities in the northeast, most especially some Christian community, the targeted area. A lot of people has been killed, and we must stop this madness. These acts amounts to genocide and nothing else. We cannot argue that this is not genocide. This is an act of genocide. I've seen a lot of spokesperson for this terrorist group. Every group or organization has its mission and objective. I have a company. My company has its mission. And this mission sometimes could be a long-term plan, or vision could be a long-term plan. The Boko Haram has a mission. The ISWAP has a mission. And that mission is to eliminate the non-believers.
Mr. Osaji, we could follow up and ask about the strategy and ask how widespread is the recruitment, of this groups, Boko Haram, ISWAP. But we'll follow up on that with you later on. Let's get to Dr. Adamu, who joins us now virtually. Dr. Adamu, Ms. Osaji has submitted that indeed the philosophical leanings of these groups show that their goal, their target is the killings of non-believers. Hence, there is genocidal killings that is targeted against Christians, who in this case, in his own opinion, are non-believers within the Islamic context. Do you agree? Is there a genocide that is targeted at Christians in Nigeria?
Thank you, Bukola, and good morning. The term genocide has a legal connotation. It speaks specifically to the fact that there is a desire to exterminate a particular group of people. Now, even though it's true, there are groups, and I think let's kind of base this on facts. We're experts. I know Osagi very well. We've done a lot together. But this is not about sentiments. This is about the reality. It's about the law. We have a Terrorism Prohibition and Prevention Act as amended in 2022 in Nigeria. That act, as at today, lists 6 groups that are terroristic in Nigeria. And if you allow me, I'll quickly mention them. One is the Jamaat al-Ahl Sunnah lil Dawati wal Jihad. Second one is the Islamic State. Okay.
Yeah, go ahead, Dr. Adamu.
Second one is the Islamic State in West Africa province, otherwise called ISWAP. The third one is the group called Ansaru. And then more recently, they added the Lakurawas to the group. And then you have the Mahmudawas, which is the fifth group. And then the sixth one, which is the more controversial one, is the indigenous people of Biafra. So as of today, these are the groups that are recognized by the Constitution as terrorist groups, not by me, not by anyone, but by the Constitution. It's also very important for us as Nigerians to realize that no person has the right to designate any group terroristic apart from a competent court of jurisdiction as provided by that act. So when you ask me, for instance, whether they are genocide, what comes to my mind is what is the objectives of this group? Right, like Osagi rightly mentioned, most of these groups have the objective to establish a Sharia caliphate. Now, are they killing Nigerians on the basis of their religion? The answer is no. From my data, and I challenge anyone, including Osagi, if he has data to show it. I've been able to raise data using my company's collection, as well as ACLED. ACLED is the globally recognized collection standpoint. The number of killings, according to religions, there are more Muslims have been killed by these groups, but than Christians. Yes, when they started, they were targeting Christians, but over time, the spread has been, all over the north central, northwest, and northeast of the country. Now, when you tabulate all of the figures, and I was shocked. I have a team. The team include Christians, they include Muslims. We have a DEI policy in my company, which is diversity, equity, and inclusion. The numbers speak for themselves. There is no specific targeting of either Christians or Muslims. They kill almost at random. In fact, interestingly, we came up with bar charts to show the number of churches that have been attacked, as well as the number of mosques that have been attacked. And there is no difference, really. In some locations, more churches, in other locations, more mosques. So I think it's very important for us to take a step back, keep our sentiments aside, and speak to facts. Like I said, these are facts. And if I even knew this was what we were going to discuss, I would have come with this presentation to show you. And of course, it can be challenged by anyone who is interested. So again, I do not believe there is genocide. I believe there are killings, there are pogroms. And if you speak to the Muslim community, they would mention to you things that happen in Yalwash and Dam in Plateau State. They would speak to you things that happen in Kafanchan, in Zangon Katab, in Kaduna, in Taraba, in so many locations. So it's sad that as a country we're discussing this issue along religion line. What we should be discussing, I think, is how do we reduce the killings? It's not about Islam, it's not about Christianity, it's about the killings that are happening in Nigeria. And I'm hoping that the conversation will go to that point as against what I would say is needless and probably further divide our country.
Dr. Adamu, thank you indeed for your opening thoughts. I'm sure Mr. Sajay has some sort of reactions, but let me stay with you for a moment because I need you to react to news just in that the UK government is raising alarm over rising insecurity in Nigeria. As a matter of fact, they have gone ahead to flag 20 states as high risks for travel. So, looking at how the dynamics have changed from a tweet just barely a month ago from US President, here we are now, the UK government raising alarm, warning the citizens about these high-risk states. In fact, all the 6 states in the Northeast has been flagged. Yobe and all of that has been flagged. What's your reaction to this?
So first off, and I say this with all sense of responsibility, it's nothing new that the UK is issuing travel advisory. I've been following the travel advisories for the United States, for Australia, and for the United Kingdom. These are kind of the major embassies, and each of them releases travel advisories for their citizens. So it's nothing new. I'm not sure why the media decided to highlight this. It seems to me sometimes there is, I don't want to say a conspiracy, but when you see things like this happening, Donald Trump is putting pressure on us, and then all of a sudden someone is also using the UK to put pressure on the Nigerian state. It's nothing new. I've been keeping tabs on UK travel advisories for the past 10 years. Every time they change the travel advisory, it reflects maybe certain changes, but believe me, this is nothing phenomenal. The number of states listed in that advisory has always been the number of states in the UK travel advisory. I think we also need to manage our own challenges and not necessarily, there is a game going on, and I'm not sure what it is. I hope the Nigerian state is very conscious and is able to manage it. I woke up today, in fact, I started yesterday, and I saw this report everywhere. But like I said, this is not new. This is something the UK has been doing, and it's for its citizens. Whether the reality is like that or not, I mean, people are living in these 10 states that are listed. Yes, do they confront security challenges? They do, but then this is for UK citizens. If you tell me, for instance, that, I mean, using Abuja, I'm speaking from Abuja, and the advisory says that persons should not travel outside Abuja central area. But there are people living in those council areas in Abuja, and most of them.
Let's bring in let's bring Mr. Osaje as well. Osaje, I wonder what your reaction would be. Do you think we should be concerned, with this latest twist to the conversation around Christian genocide claims, the UK government now as well reacting?
Yeah, we should be concerned as a country, and if not for the tweets of the President of the United States, we wouldn't have seen a lot of actions coming from our government and a lot of engagement from religious scholars and other bodies and professionals. Some of them are in favor and some of them are against. And first of all, we must also understand that any organization that has its mission and objective will surely have to achieve such objective. For example, the abduction of the Chibok girls in 2014 was a clear genocide because their identity was changed. They were forcefully married out, and they were also forcefully converted to Islam. That is an act of religious genocide, because we must not paint the truth or say everybody is being killed, the Muslim is being killed, or whoever is being killed. I'm not here to speak for the Christian community. I'm not here to speak for the Muslim community. I'm only here to state facts that as a country we must stop this nonsense bedeviling our country. Religious tolerance must be the top lead of the day. Like Kabura Adamu rightly said, we are both in the same field, my very good friend. But we differ in this argument based on the facts and statistics of the killings. Well, I'm not here to count the numbers of Christians that have been killed. I'm not here to count the numbers of the Muslims that have been killed. But what I'm here to say is that I'm here to state the ideological driven mentality of this ISWAP and Boko Haram. In 2014, Shakal gave a live broadcast that whoever is not with them, kill everybody. And most of the killings you also see that are taking place, for example, the rice farmers massacre, was as a result of the fact that these guys were giving information to the military, and the Boko Haram claimed responsibility. The attack in Goza and Baga was as a result of the fact that these guys did not agree with their ideology, and that is why sometimes even within the Boko Haram, there's what they call takfiri. Somebody who do not believe in their their ideology. And that is why they sometimes go to the mosques and also go to the church to their place of worship and bombard that area. But what I'm here to say is this: the Nigerian government must come and unify and unite this great country, unite the Muslims, unite the Christians. I can also tell you about the beauty pageant, the beauty pageant that led to the killings in Kaduna, and also other killings, the beheading of a lot of people. The ideology is very clear, because when you come to say that these people are not, this is not a genocide, that means that you are defending the ideology and the mission of these people. Yes, I agree totally. Nobody should be killed, be it a Muslim or be it a Christian. But the fact that these Islamic terrorists, these jihadists have an agenda to Islamize Nigeria, and they try to, conquer the north, then before they can proceed to the other place, they must be stopped. And that is my point of argument. I respect the Muslim. I was born in Maiduguri. I grew up in Sokoto State. I grew up in Zaria as well before joining the military. But what I'm here to state is that the religious leaders and everybody must come together to ensure we stop this madness. Nobody should be forced into another religion. Nobody should be killed. No community should be wiped out because you want to take charge or you want to take over their territory, because it is very clear in the definition of the 1948 United Nations Convention. Religious genocide, Chibok abduction was a classified case of religious genocide. So let's not deny that fact that there's no genocide. We need help as a country. We need the military to take charge of these killings, because the killings of most of these people is getting out of hand, and we must ensure that we bring this situation to a state of positive peace and ensure those who go after the Christians community are brought to books, those who go after the Muslim communities are brought to books. I'm not denying a lot of Muslims have been killed, and the reason why they were killed was stated on the internet by the leaders of Boko Haram, and also they were very clear that the reason why they were killed is because they do not believe in their ideology. And not every Muslims or most of the Muslim communities, not all of them believe in the ideology of this Boko Haram, and that is why they sometimes bomb the mosque and bomb most of the Muslim community. But the objective and ideology of these people is to Islamize the country and also wipe out most of this Christian community, and that must be stopped.
So we have to begin to wind down on our conversation now, but perhaps a follow-up question, because you have said that we need help. And if I reflect on the words of the cleric, Pastor E.A. Adeboye, he has advised the government of the day to move fastly, to move diplomatically, and to move with wisdom. So I wonder if you agree with the cleric. Just a short answer in 20 seconds, please, Mr. Saji.
I agree with the clerics, but why now? The tweet of the president says, United States says, move fast, and that was a conditional statement, and it wasn't a threat to invade our sovereignty, and we must not paint the truth as it is. So what the government of Nigeria should be doing is to look for the sponsors of these people, set up a board of inquiry to find out why this group was formed, and those who sponsored it, and those who are sponsoring it to date, and bring them to justice. Whoever is also taking side and negotiating with this terrorist group, this deadly human being, they must also be brought to book. We must not romance or play with human lives, because every life matters. And when you go to the hierarchy of protection, Kelly, human life comes first when it comes to hierarchy of protection. It's not our resources, it's not our goods and services, it's human life. So let's start looking at the protection of human life, which is the fundamental purpose of governance, which states that the protection of lives and property is the topmost priority of the government, and they must not take side. Everybody who has contributed to the killings of every Nigerian from all nooks and crannies must be arrested, brought to book, and this group of criminal elements and terrorists must be eliminated from our country, Nigeria.
All right, let's manage our time. Let me quickly come to you, Dr. Adamu. When you listen to the cleric, it appears as if what's coming is inevitable. I'd like you to react to that. Is it inevitable, in spite of the diplomatic efforts that the government is making, that the military troops under President Trump will come to Nigeria? That's on the one hand. On the other hand, if you can do this in 1 minute 30 seconds, do you agree with the federal government's positioning that terrorism-related deaths has reduced by 81% as we wind down?
Let me start from the last question. No, I don't agree. The data from the company I run shows that as at the end of October 2025, 9,000 Nigerians have been killed. Now, if you take it back to, let's say, 2013, when probably about 13,000 Nigerians were killed, if you do the mathematics, you find out that the reduction is probably just about maybe 20 to 30%. So that cannot be true, 81%. I don't know what data they're using, but the data that I have, the data that is available on ACLED, and every Nigerian who is interested, ACLED is available freely. You can go and check. With regards to the inevitability of an attack by President Trump, unfortunately, nobody knows the mind of President Trump. I'm very certain that he's not doing this because he loves Nigerian Christians. The data, the reality, and I say this, and I'm urging even Osaji, who has been very passionate about this, pick the report by the United States Commission on International Religious Freedom. That commission was very clear about what is happening in Nigeria, but for some odd reasons, President Trump chose to be selective in his narrative. Do I agree that we need to bring this 9,000 killings down to maybe 0 or maybe 100? I agree totally. And so to that extent, I agree with my friend Osaji. Let's work together to bring down the killings. The selective narrative, the attempt to abuse our sovereignty should be resisted by every patriotic Nigerian. My worry when I see people supporting the United States against their country is to ask the question, are they really patriotic? Can't we come together as a people to solve the problem? How do we do that? Put pressure on the government through every means available, through the media, through our legislative representatives, and so many other ways that we can pressure the government to bring this insecurity and madness to an end.
All right, that'll be a fine place to anchor it, Dr. Adamu. But just to also, put it in proper context, those who are welcoming the invasion predominantly are from those parts of the country where the attacks are ongoing, and they feel that the federal government has failed them, and indeed their state government has failed them in the area of protection, which is the primary responsibility of government.
Kanu protested yesterday. Kanu, I'm sure you saw it. There was a protest in Kanu on Friday.
That's from a different part of the country, Dr. Adamu. That's from a different part of the country. I'm talking about, the north central Benue, and you can look at their comments under
the premise
such
of
reports.
your argument is wrong. The attacks are spread across the entire north central. Not when you choose.
Dr. Adamu, I'm not saying the attacks are not widespread. I'm talking about those, who are making comments about welcoming the invasion. And the reason why they're welcoming the invasion.
Down on Benue and Plateau?
Yeah, well, we must anchor at this point. We'll continue with this debate. Thank you so much, gentlemen. We've been talking with Mr. Dixon Osagie, security consultant, MD Debris Protection Services Limited, and Kabiru Adamu, who is a security consultant and MD Beacon Security and Intelligence Limited. Gentlemen, thank you for your time on the program.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for having me, and God bless Nigeria.
And here's where we drop the anchor on the show. A heated one today, I must say.
Yeah.
But that's a way, a good way to begin the week, and it will unfold, perhaps in a more dramatic fashion all through the week. Thank you for being there.
It's all right. So, after watching this, what do you make of it? Do well to drop your comment in the comment section, all right? I'll see you in my next video. Thank you very much, and may God continue to bless you.